in the main stand at Oakwell to talk to us, and we appreciate that as always. Carlos, good evening to you. Commiserations on the defeat, which is a very painful one, is it not, when it's so late in the game?
No doubt that we lose the option to win 1 point with one opponent that they were with us in the table. So when you cannot win one game, making all the effort that we were doing during all the 90 minutes of the game, we cannot lose one game, losing the concentration and two actions that for me we are in better conditions to can defense, because I think they didn't do enough. We couldn't do enough neither from that point of view. I can understand about the condition of the pitch, the condition of them, the game that they try to play today. But I think we cannot lose the concentration in these two actions, because if not, instead to take 1 point that we will appreciate a lot, we lose the option to continue in this balance with Barnsley.
Overall, during the game, Carlos, how happy were you with your team's possession, their control of possession, their shape and structure?
It's difficult when you have a negative result to be watching some positive things. I think football demands us to compete from the first action until the last action. I think we start really well the game. I think after we weren't enough able to break the press. After we scored the goal, after we create one very clear chance with Campbell playing directly with the last line. After this, for us, was hard to break the press of them. It was hard to put the ball in offensive half, and we didn't create all the chances that we wanted to create, especially because the game had a lot of challenges in the middle of the pitch, with a lot of second balls, that we had to fight a lot to don't suffer the consequences of these second balls. I think the team was doing well, but in one action, in one set pieces, they scored one ball that we are, for me, in the conditions to score, to can avoid the goal, because in that moment we were 3 players to can challenge for the ball, and we didn't do. Between the two central backs that they were close, between the keeper, we weren't able to avoid the last contact with the ball of the opponent. And I think we play better the second half, even without creating enough chances. I think the team we play more in offensive half, we were breaking more the press, one press that was difficult to break, but at the same time, in the only option that they have for me in the second half, they scored one goal in the last second of the game, in the extra time, and of course it made very painful this result today.
I don't wish to sound unkind about the players who you brought on, Carlos, but you need more. You need a bigger contribution, surely. If you introduce substitutes, you want some freshness, some new ideas. That was a disappointing element of today, surely.
I think the higher level of disappointment for me is that we cannot lose the concentration in the last action that they had. I only have to do is I will analyze all like we do the individual performances, because of course some players were giving the perfect answer. Some players was hard for them to understand which type of game we were playing today. And at the same time, I think the key of this game was that in 2 second balls of the second pieces, they took 3 balls today. And especially after the draw, for me, when we cannot win one game, we need to keep the concentration to don't lose the lesson in the mark when we are in the last action of the game.
Away from today's game briefly, Carlos, just let me ask you about Danny Green, your new signing. If we were in a different month, if he was here already and you were officially allowed to play him, is this the sort of game you could pick him in? Are you expecting to be able to select him straight away when he arrives?
I cannot be thinking the possibilities that I don't have, because like you say, he is not able now with the squad, and I need to be focused to try to use the play that we have and we try to mentalize them to can help the team, and this is our only target right now.
The reason for the question is that we're trying to imagine the second half of the season, which is going to start quite soon, and whether your team will look a lot different than it does now, at least in terms of the bench. Do you feel that you need still more new bodies in the building?
I think what we need to do is to learn a lot from the football point of view, to learn a lot from the situation that the game is going to demand, to learn a lot that in Championship you need to compete very well before to can impose in the starting attack. I think we did a lot of minutes in the game. We did very well, for me, especially in the second half, but in one action that we cannot lose the concentration, that we need to solve well, because we need to do. Because if you don't do, we don't get the point that for us would be a positive and deserving maybe result.
Carlos, thank you for talking to us live on BBC Radio Leeds. I'll let you get warm now.